Hey guys, welcome to Dr. Priyanka's Biology, where we discuss everything from biology to biotechnology. Today I am here with a small concept, that is taxonomy. So those of you who are interested in NEET exam, please make a mention of this particular concept, because for you the examples and the classification method is very important, because some minor questions can be asked in a twisted manner. So it's better you take a note of this. And secondly, for those who are answering the board exams, now this becomes, it can come as a major question also and minor questions also, because the definitions are important yet they are confusing. Okay, so now let us get started with this topic. So now let's try to understand this term, that is taxonomy. So now this entire word can be broken down into two parts, that is taxo and nomi. So taxo, it has come from the term taxis. Taxis meaning arrangement, and nomia, it means the method. Okay, taxis means arrangement and nomia means the method of distribution or method. Okay, so this is how this word has come into picture. Now, taxonomy is a science of classification, naming and categorization of the organisms. Now, why this is important? Okay, why this order and this particular framework is important? Because this has made the nomenclature system more systematic, more precise and more error free, right? So we have studied that Carl Linnaeus had proposed the binomial system of nomenclature or the naming system, wherein we have the two parts, okay, that is the genus and the species. Okay, so now how they have reached till this level? So that they have followed some particular rules which have helped to categorize and differentiate, okay, based on the differences and the similarities. And this is how the organisms have been put into different categories. Suppose now let us take one simple example. You have an entire big room, or say a big basket full of balls, and these balls are of different colors, say red, blue, yellow, green, different colors. So it will be difficult for you to pick a particular color. But if all these colors have been sorted out in different baskets separately, it will be very easy for anyone to pick it up. Similar concept has been followed over here. That is taxonomy. So it has been categorized. The organisms have been categorized in very systematic manner based on certain similarities and keeping aside the differences. So it is more and more becoming specific towards a particular thing. Okay. So now let's move on to the next part. So when I'm saying about the science of classification, naming and categorization, so we need to know certain more things, that what is this classification? So classification is basically the process by which anything is grouped in convenient categories. So that is what I gave you the example of the balls which are present in different balls present in different colors and which have been sorted out. So it becomes more convenient. Forget about the example of balls. Whenever your mother is going to the vegetable market, okay, she will get everything together. But when she is coming at home, she is going to sort the chilies separate, the green vegetables separate, tomatoes separate, onions separate, your potatoes separate, other vegetables, whatever she has brought, everything is being sorted and they are stored separately based on the shelf life. Because if we have this green leafy vegetables, they are more perishable. So they need to be wrapped properly in some paper, and they have to be stored properly, and they need to be used faster. Whereas potatoes, onions, they do not need refrigeration, right? So this is done based on the convenient sorting. Same way this has been done. So if I am asking you to just visualize a cat, right? You will visualize only a cat, not a dog or some insect, right? But when I'm saying visualize animals, so in front of your eyes there may be different types of animals. So all these things have been sorted out because everything will belong to a major big group. So when we are doing this taxonomical classification, okay, things become sorted. Fine. So based on the characteristics, all the living organisms, they can be classified into different taxa. Now the unit of taxonomy is taxa. So this arrangement, this taxa can be present at different levels. So based on the external and internal structures, along with the structure of the cell development process, then their ecological information. So all these animals can be categorized based on keeping all these things into mind. Okay, now let us move on to the next part. Now we have taxonomic categories. So based on there is some hierarchy. How in a military system we have different levels of those officers. Say in police also we have different levels of those officers. Any office you say there are some multitasking staff, then there are higher level, then we have the management system. So this way we have different levels, right? That is what we call as hierarchy, okay? So this classification is based on this hierarchy, okay, depending on some sort of similarities. Fine. So they have been ranked. So each taxa is having some rank at particular given point. So here we have taxonomic categories, taxa, and then we have the taxonomic hierarchy maintained. So now we have the species, genus, family, order, class, phylum and division, and finally we have the kingdom. So this has been organized this way. Okay. So this entire process, okay, this taxonomy is entirely categorized based on these points. So species is the most unit one or the basic unit of taxonomy, whereas the kingdom is the highest unit. So this has been categorized this way. So kingdom, it is more broad, right? But as we go down, okay, species, it becomes more and more specific. Okay, so this is what we need to remember. So coming on to the next part, that is, so what are the species? So we have been learning about species from so long. So a group of organisms that is having similar individuals, and these individuals are capable of breeding, that is interbreeding. Okay, they are capable of exchanging their genes, and most importantly, they are capable of giving rise to fertile organisms or fertile individuals which can continue with the progeny further. So that is the definition of species. So we have Homo sapiens. Okay, so Homo sapiens. Okay, so this S should be small. Okay, this Homo sapiens are human beings. So all the human beings, they are being classified together. So sapiens, that is for humans. Okay. So next part is the genus. So a group of selected species that have more common characters. Okay, in common in comparison to species. Species is more specific, whereas your genus, it is slightly broader. It can accommodate some more things, right? So example, we have this Panthera, genus Panthera. So your lion, tiger, leopard, they all belong to the genus that is Panthera. Okay. But they all are different. Whereas now Panthera is the genus. Now Leo, Pardus, then we have the Tigris. They all are the species. So all the tigers will fall under Panthera tigris. And all these tigers are similar. Whereas your Panthera Leo. So all the Leos, that is the lions, they will fall under the category of Panthera Leo. So Leo and Tigris, lion and tiger, they are not the same. They are different. But still they have something in common. That's why they fall under the same genus. So this is how we have the difference between the species and the genus. So next part is the family. So what is this family? Now how in human beings we have the families, right? So you belong to one family, I belong to one family. So what is this family? They are more related, right? So my father, my mother, my brother, okay, my daughter, husband, everybody, they are like one family. Fine. Because we are more related, right? So that becomes family. So neighbors, my neighbors are more related to themselves. So they become one family, right? So a family has a group of individuals or group of genuses which are more related. Fine. But still smaller number of similarities as compared to your genus and species. Species is more related. They are specific. Whereas genus, there are differences but not as, as big as family. Family has much more differences, right? So when we say family, so family में कौन आता है? चाचा आते हैं, मामा आते हैं, but चाचा का और मामा का सरनेम अलग होता है, right? But still they are a family because they are related. Then we have cats and the dogs. Both they eat meat, right? Both can be domesticated. So both are similar, right? Their size, everything, like based on those characteristics, they are similar. But still they are different. So they belong to different families. That is, we have the Felidae and the Canidae. So Felidae is the cat and we have the Canidae, that is the dog. So we have the dogs and the cats. So though they are similar, there are differences, but they belong to different families. So this is what we have to remember. But next level, they will be having something similar. Okay. So next is this. Now if you see, so species wise they are different, genus wise also they are different. Family we have family Canidae and here in cat we have family Felidae. Now next part we will see later. Okay. So before that let us cover some. So next we have is the order. Now this order is more specific than a class. Okay. Now that is classified between a family and a class. Now we have cats and dogs. They are like both of them they eat meat. So that's why they are being categorized under the order that is carnivora. Now let us take example of a class. So class, it is going to include more related orders which are more related to each other. Now we have the monkeys, gorilla, they all belong to the order that is primata, primates. Whereas we have the tiger, cat, dog, they belong to the order carnivora because they are meat eaters. But still, because of the similar category, because of the similarities, they have been put under the class that is mammalia because they have the similarity that they have the body hair and they give birth. So that is where they are more related. So that's why they have been classified under the order mammalia. So next part is the phylum. So phylum is a level of classification or taxonomic rank that is below kingdom but above class. Okay. So now for example, like we have the phylum Chordata. Now this Chordata, it is based on the presence of the notochord. Okay. And a hollow neural system. So we have non-chordata and chordata. So we all fall under the category or the phylum Chordata. Fine. So kingdom is the second highest level. That is the second highest taxonomic ranking. Okay. Now it is just below domain. So now this phylum is it divides the kingdom. Okay, into small taxonomic groups. So we have the Animalia, Plantae, okay, fungi, Protista, Monera, okay. So there are different approaches which we will learn later based on the classification, okay, kingdom classification. We have two kingdom, we have three kingdom system, we have six kingdom system, okay, which all we should learn some at some other point of time. So this is what we are talking about, the categorization or the ranking in the taxonomy. So let us come back to the same example, that is the cats and the dogs. So we have seen that both of them, they belong to the domain, that is Eukarya. Then we have the kingdom, both belong to Animalia. Phylum Chordata, both belong to class, that is Mammalia. Order is Carnivora. Now the difference is starts from the family. That is, this is Canidae and this is Felidae. So if you see from the kingdom, okay, kingdom, as we start from kingdom, things become narrow. They become more and more specific. So kingdom, all these things, your cat, dog, tiger, everybody will come in the same kingdom. But as we go down, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, things become more narrow. Now everything will be like they are going to keep apart the differences. Okay, this is not there. Throw out the odd ones. And finally, they will have only the specific ones. This is how the taxonomic classification is done. But now we have been talking about kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. What if you just jumble up things? Okay, everything should be written in the exact manner or the exact order that we have written over here. If you make a mistake, you are going to lose your marks. So how are we going to remember this? So let me give you a simple trick to how to remember this. Okay. So if you remember this phrase, okay, it will be very easy for you to remember this. So we can remember this by keeping in mind, okay, dear King Philip came for good soup. Okay, this is just a thing that I made. Okay, I should have a copyright for this. That is, dear King Philip came over for good soup. Okay. So D stands for domain, K stands for your kingdom, P stands for your phylum, class, order, family, genus and species. So if you remember this, dear King Philip came over for good soup. Okay, your one answer would be done. So only thing you have to remember what is what. Okay. So with this, I will explain you one. I found this one very beautiful example on the internet. I just forgot which site it is, but it is very beautiful. I want to give my credit to that particular site for generating this very good image. So if you see here, this is about the big cats. Okay, big cats meaning lion, tiger, cheetah, everybody. So here we have the kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata. Okay, then we have the class Mammalia, order Carnivora, that is meat eaters. Then we have the suborder. Okay, that is like Feliformia, that is like more like cats, cat-like. Then we have the family. So they all belong to the family, that is Felidae. But we know that our small cat, our home cat also, Kali Billi, that also belongs to the family, that is Felidae. And these big cats also belong to the family Felidae. But as we go down towards the genus, they become different. Okay. So now we have the subfamily, that is Pantherinae, and we have the Felinae. So these are more like cat. Okay. This category is more like cat. So we have the genus Panthera and Neophilus under the Pantherinae family, subfamily. So we have your tiger, lion, jaguar, then we have a snow leopard, all of them they belong to the Panthera, genus Panthera. and we have the Neophilus, wherein we have the other type of leopard, that is the clouded ones. Then we have the under the Feline family, we have the three, okay, wildcat genus. Then we have the puma. Then we have the Acinonyx. Okay, under that we have cheetah. So this way we have different ones. So my intention to show you this slide was, okay, from kingdom, they are all, it's a very broad category. But as we move down towards species, things become more and more specific. Things become very, very narrow. So this is what you have to remember. So now this concept will be very useful for you for your NEET exam. So start collecting some of the examples. Try to understand the difference. At what point the difference is going to come into picture. Okay. So normally it comes at the family level. So that point you have to note down. Which are the organisms which belong to the similar family? Which are the organisms which belong to a different family? Same thing in case of plants also. So with this, I would like to end this today's session. So let's meet at some other point with some interesting topic. So till then, keep studying and keep smiling. Thank you.